Okay, finally, let's add a little flare here at the beginning. It's really easy to do. This time, let's use the layer new solid. Let's call it flare. And with this pen tool, while selecting this solid, we'll create mask. For creating shapes, we didn't select anything. And to create mask, we need to select something. In our case, if we will select solid, we will create mask. So let's create this kind of mask, which will represent this path. Once we've created a mask, as you can see, we can manipulate it as we want, just by clicking on these dots. By the way, if you will click on this one of these dots and hold Alt key on keyboard, it will taper like this, which is really handy for our needs. So something like this shape works fine. And what we can do is to select the solid and press F. We will see mask feather. And let's change it to feather it really big like this. And we can even duplicate this mask and open it. To duplicate mask, select it and press Ctrl D. And change this expansion to a lower number. And change this feather, which will allow us to add these kind of highlights in the core of our effect. And now we can change it to add. And by pressing T on keyboard and change it to the smaller value like 58 or 60, we can animate it. So here we can cut it to this moment, set it to 0, create a keyframe, skip few frames. About here it will be at 60. And by the way, we can change the color of it. We can just go to Effects and Presets, apply Fill Effect, and in this way we can change to any color which you want. For example, bluish works fine as well. And about here, it should disappear. So let's set it to 0. And let's select all of these keyframes and press F9 and cut this layer to this moment so we would see when this animation appears. So as you can see, it's pretty easy effect to do, but it gives you this a little something, and without it, it's not as exciting as it was. So as you can see, these little things which you will add, it's really this professional look to your animations. So props to you for sticking around and learning this kind of techniques. But you can see that with these kind of things, you add in step up to your animations. So same thing we want to do with the flare here at the end. Basically, we can just copy this flare, just select it and press Ctrl D to duplicate it and move it here. And we can just press M to see our masks. We can just delete this first mask and adjust this mask. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can even delete some of the points just by selecting them and press delete. Some shape like this can work fine. And as you remember, with this expansion, we can expand it a bit more. We can duplicate it. And in this mask too, we can change this expansion to less and feather it a bit less and have some glow core in the middle. And now if we will time it well, we will have this kind of cool little flash at the end, which also would add a bit more complexity to your video. And this one we can even make it stay longer. And finally, let's add some noise, which will make this animation more lifelike. So to add noise, we can go to Add New Solid, and let's call it Fractal, because this noise we will use. And here in Effects and Presets, let's type it Fractal. We will use this fractal noise and drag it on Fractal. Here is a bunch of different noise, and by trying all of these, you can select anything which you like. And I like subscale for this kind of effect. I want to set complexity to 0, which is 1 lowest value which you can get. I want to add more contrast, like 260, and lower the brightness to maybe minus 115. So I would have these speckles, and in transition I can change the scale to a really low value. For this video I'm gonna set to 4, so it would be easier for you to see. Also add linear wipe effect transition linear wipe. And with this effect, I can cut out a bit of this noise, maybe at the bottom, like here. So it wouldn't be super uniformed. And now I can change this fractal to screen. And as you can see, it's applied on top of everything. And finally, I can just press T on keyboard and decrease so it not would be so distracting. And as you can see, it doesn't really move or do anything. And if you want to have a bit of animation to it, you can go to Evolution Options and hold Alt key on keyboard. And then click on this stopwatch while holding Alt. It will allow us to write expression. And here is a really cool expression which you can write. Just type it time, multiply, and amount of frames which you want it to change. So if you want to have a stuttery look, you can set to 4. It basically will have this stuttery kind of animation. As you can see, it doesn't change too much. But if you will set to like 15, it will change a bit more. In my original example, I've used 7 because I feel like it's a middle between all of this. And it gives you this cartoonish, interesting kind of look. If you want to add even more complexity, you can just duplicate this fractal noise. And this below set to multiply, like here. And go to Effects and apply effect called Invert. And drop it here on fractal, which is multiply. And with this effect, you will add these kind of darkish colors. So we would have a bit more texture to our animation. These little things which adds up into really complex and interesting animation. So now you can save your project and share with me. Ask me in the comments if you have any questions on this class. I'll be happy to help you if you're stuck on some parts. Follow me here on Skillshare if you want to learn more about After Effects. I think it's a really fun way to learn After Effects while doing something for fun. This is why I have the whole section on VFX using Adobe After Effects. I think it's really fun to create movie-like visual effects and at the same time learning how to use this software. I upload classes every week, so feel free to follow me here. And thank you for watching.